Merry Christmas, everyone. It's just me today for a quick little Christmas celebration. We're ranking every Doctor Who Christmas special from the worst to the best. I'm not including the end of time because only one part of it airs on Christmas, and I can't rank one half of a story. It probably should be included, but it's not. Oh well. Okay, starting off the list in 12th place is The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Now, this episode isn't good, but I use those words carefully because I really don't think it's necessarily bad. And that is a bit of a theme with these Christmas specials. Only a few of them are anything special, but none of them are really that bad. They're just fun Christmas entertainment. Now, while I don't think it's bad, there's literally nothing of note here. Most of the episode is just spent by characters walking around looking for each other. The tree people are not good. They do nothing, improve nothing, and make me feel nothing. There's absolutely no threat. The ending's fine. It doesn't completely work, but it's nice. And there's a nice moment at the end with the ponds. Moving up the list to number 11, we meet the return of Dr. Mysterio. Now, this one was at the bottom of my list, but after reviewing it a little bit, I've moved it up a spot. The superhero thing is so laughable. It's genuinely hard to tell if it's a parody or not. It certainly seems to take itself seriously, but it is the most generic superhero template ever. So it genuinely feels like a parody way more than an homage. The costume looks bad. The whole thing is just so cheesy. It doesn't feel right in the Doctor Who universe. It all feels so forced and wrong. And are you seriously telling me no one recognizes him in that mask? The ridiculous mask stuff is done in like every form of these generic superhero stories. I don't know, it just feels like it invalidates this Doctor Who universe somehow because there's absolutely no way that mask would do that good of a job of concealing someone's identity. Anyway, the story itself isn't really that bad. I really like the Doctor's reaction to everything going on, and the back and forth of Grant's life as the ghost and his life as a nanny is fun. I really like the aliens' plans to take control of the world leaders by getting them all to run straight to them for safety. The other thing is, halfway through this, I completely forgot I was watching a Christmas special. I guess the vibe and overall feel of the episode is kind of what gives it that Christmas flavor, but seriously, when was Christmas even mentioned in this? Next up is the Snowman, and this one kind of perplexes me. I can't really tell if I like it or hate it. What I do know is that Jenna Coleman is amazing in this. Clara in this episode is better than the whole of Series 7. Matt Smith is also fantastic. Strax is absolutely hilarious. The Ice Lady, she's just bad. She's not in any way intimidating or threatening, and to be honest, she's kind of annoying. The reveal of the new TARDIS is nice though. Oh, and Richard E. Grant, he's good. I don't know, it's pretty good. There's just something about it. Okay, in 9th place is The Next Doctor. And this one is frustrating because there's a great story in here. The idea of someone thinking of the Doctor like that is just really interesting. The two Doctors are great together. The mystery of who this other Doctor is really compelling for the first half of the episode. The Cybermen really don't need to be there. It could have been any other alien race, really, but they work fine. The giant Cyber King thing felt over the top. It's unnecessary, really. And it seems a little weird that Jackson Lake doesn't really get a moment to, save the day at the end. And I don't at all understand how the Doctor ended up beating the Cybermen. He just, blocked the connection to that lady's brain, and then they all exploded? What? In 8th place is The Runaway Bride. So this one, along with the next one I'm going to be talking about in a minute here, are the definition of a good Christmas special for me. They do exactly what they need to do, nothing more, nothing less. They're pretty good. This one's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Donna and the 10th Doctor's dynamic here, as always. However, I could see how at the time people could have been a little put off by her. Having seen her in Series 4, this just feels like her character there, but I could see me potentially not liking her all that much if I were to re-experience watching this episode for the first time. I don't dislike the Arachnos. I don't think it's that great, but I'm fine with it. So yeah, this one's just good. So that leads into 7th place. I had The Christmas Invasion. And like I said, it's very similar to The Runaway Bride. It's got the same kind of vibe. Of course, they were the first two Christmas specials, so it makes sense. And if you ask me on a different day, I might change these two around. The Christmas Invasion is a lot of fun, though. The Doctor is asleep for most of it, but I think it's a lot of fun. The reveal of the Doctor being back is great, and when he does wake up, he's just amazing. It's also great to see Rose, Jackie, and Mickey try to wrap their heads around what's happened to the Doctor, and the threat of all those people on those roofs ready to jump at a moment's notice. It creates some nice tension in the episode. It's actually a lot better than I've given it credit for, I think. Speaking of Christmas specials that are a lot better than I've given it credit for, number 6 is Time of the Doctor. Yeah, so I really like the main storyline of this stalemate. The Doctor has to stay and protect this town. Quick question though, what was the point of the truth field thing? Did that ever come up again, or am I missing something? Clara's really good in this. As much as I don't like Series 7 Clara, she's pretty good here. Her family, though, I guess it's not the episode's fault, but what bothers me about them is that they're never heard from or seen again, before or after this. She keeps traveling with the Doctor for another 3 years after this. How do we never see her family again? Anyway, Handel is really good. His death is really sad. I really wish they would have brought up the fact that he's used up all his regenerations in the episodes leading up to this, because if you don't already know, it kind of just comes out of the blue. It seems like the kind of thing the Doctor would be obsessing over. I feel like it's something they should have devoted more time to. And again, the Christmas element just doesn't really fit in here. They call the town Christmas, and that's about it. And it does feel kind of stuffed with all the stuff Moffat's trying to fit into this, which is understandable since he was trying to fit an entire series into one episode. But still, it's never a good thing. And I really don't like that after 1,000 years? More? The big resolution is the Doctor standing there shooting all the aliens with lasers coming out of his hands. But the regeneration scene is great. And that Amy Pond moment is just great. Getting our top 5 started is another surprise for me, the Husbands of River song. This one boils down to Peter Capaldi and Alex Kingston. They are amazing on screen together. Unfortunately, we had a lot of that screen time taken away because of how long the River not recognizing the Doctor gag went on. But this episode is a lot of fun, and those last few minutes on Beryllium are absolutely amazing. Yeah, this is good. At number 4, I have Voyage of the Damned. This one did move down on my list, looking back through it. What worked here still works. The disaster movie vibe, the alienness of the ship. You feel the stakes and the realness of the shipwreck. And all of her side characters are so much fun. The old man, a couple that won their tickets in a lottery, Bonicafalata. It's so sad when they die one by one. And David Tennant's great. The Alonzi Alonso moment is perfect. Max Capricorn is not a very good villain. Not a fan of him. And there's absolutely no reason why Astra had to fall off too. She could have jumped off that machine so quickly. That made no sense. And I don't like that she's brought back to life at the end. Why is the Doctor so much more upset when she dies anyway? It's really disrespectful to all the other people who watch die. It's still really good though. Okay, starting off the top 3 is Twice Upon a Time. I love the mirroring of the two Doctors. They both want so badly to not have to regenerate, but for completely different reasons. And they're both so good. Peter Capaldi and David Bradley are so good in these roles. Mark Gatiss' character is also great. It's a lot of fun to see him, completely perplexed by what's going on around him. I can see what they were going for with all the first Doctor jokes, and I can completely respect and appreciate it in a way, but it does make the first Doctor come across as kind of an idiot at some points. And you've just got to remember that even though it's a very different version of the character, it's still the Doctor. And those just aren't things the Doctor would say. I have mixed feelings about Bill being back, because I really like how they did it, and how hesitant the Doctor is to believe that she's really back. It's more the idea of her being back that gets me, because the companions are just always coming back after their departures, and this just continues that trend. But Bill is really good in this, and I love that there's no evil plan. I love that for the 12th Doctor's final adventure, there's no evil plan. And to end it off by weaving the Revolution into a real historical event that just fits so perfectly in the Christmas armistice, it's great. And then the 12th Doctor send-off with him saying goodbye to Bill Nardole, and then Clara showing up and learning that he has his memories back, and then the regeneration scene itself is just fantastic. Our runner-up is A Christmas Carol. This one just shot up my list after looking back through it. This is by far the most genuine Christmas special Doctor Who's ever had, and it captures the feel perfectly. I love the setting of his alien planet, so similar to our planet, but just different enough. The stakes are so high. We're talking about 4,000 people here, I think, but that's not even what we're most worried about. We're worried about this boy and what he grows up to be, and we're worried about this woman who's dying. It's got just the right amount of timey-wimey Stephen Moffat brilliance, and it all manages to come together in a satisfying conclusion. But what about the whole can't go back on someone's personal timeline thing? Wasn't that supposed to be a rule of time? That doesn't make any sense, because he's definitely going back on someone's personal timeline here. And coming in first place is Last Christmas. It's the best Christmas special. Nick Frost is amazing in this. His elf guys are absolutely hilarious. All the members of that expedition thing are great. And the way it's presented to us, exactly like a dream. Weird things happen in the episode, and the episode just keeps going like nothing happened, and we don't question it. It just captures the dream feeling so well. When you're having a dream, you don't question any of it. It's not until you wake up that you realize none of it made any sense. Danny is used really well in this. That dream scene where Clara has to say goodbye to him, it's a really good moment. And that moment when the Doctor and Clara both realize that they were both lying is amazing. Because at that moment, they both know that they can travel the universe again. And it's just like this moment of realization. And I just love how much this thing messes with you. There are so many dreams within dreams, and it continues to fool you. By the final dream reveal, you're just like, how did I fall for this again? It lays so much in plain sight, so many clues, and it all makes sense in the end. The sleigh ride scene at the end somehow works too, and is absolutely fantastic. And this thing's got almost the perfect amount of Christmas for our Christmas special. And that final reveal that's another dream, I don't know. I know it wasn't originally written to end like that, but I think it totally works. It's a complete emotional whiplash, but in a good way. This thing's just so good. Alright, there you have it. My complete Doctor Who Christmas specials ranking. Thank you so much for watching, and Merry Christmas. See you next time.